In project delivery, we tend to think of context in terms of everything that's happening now around a project. The web of political, organizational, social, physical, and economic conditions surrounding the project. In fact, everything outside the formal scope, schedule, and budget that still shapes whether it succeeds. Perhaps the worst aspect of all this is that it changes. All of the conditions surrounding a project will change, particularly if it is running for any length of time. And unfortunately, context is everything, because it defines the basis on which you initially frame the project, the delivery model you need to deliver it, and the perception of value that emerges once it is completed. Let's take some high-profile examples of where projects have fallen foul of their context. The National Programme for IT, aka Connecting for Health, abandoned in 2011, which made the mistake of trying to impose a centralized model on a system and a culture which we all know is anything but centralized. Sydney Opera House, where design and construction decisions were entangled with a change of state government and a change of premier, which triggered the architect's resignation and years of redesign. Or the Santos Barossa gas development project in Australia, where a multi-billion-dollar, fully approved project was stopped in its tracks by a court order because, while Santos had consulted representative Indigenous bodies, the Tiwi Land Council and Northern Land Council, they had not consulted the individual Tiwi Islanders directly affected, which the regulatory framework actually required. The good news is that the relationship between large projects and their context is a mutual one. In other words, whilst your project will be framed, influenced, even defined by its context, this isn't a one-way street. Large projects generate their own gravity, so the project actually frames, influences, and defines its context. The upcoming ICCPM roundtable in London on the 28th of September will explore how context can be harnessed to bring clarity, coherence, and confidence to complex delivery. The idea is to find ways for you to challenge conventional models of control and prediction, looking instead to adaptive leadership, systems thinking, and strategic sense-making as tools for managing in uncertainty. If you look at this challenge from the perspective of human-centric data, a process that involves capturing, sharing, and leveraging small amounts of data on what everyone involved on the project is feeling, what they perceive and what they believe, then part of the solution becomes clear. This is because context changes in relation to the project, but it also changes in relation to you, me, and everyone on the project. As we change our position, our perception, our orientation, so the context is changed. You can begin to see why change management is so integral to every project, managing the project context by working with the beliefs, feelings, and perceptions of your stakeholders. Follow the link to sign up and take part in the ICCPM roundtable. Or talk to us at Team Animation if you'd like to find out more.